Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harkar, and I'm here today with John Matland. And what we're going to talk about, besides his real estate journey, is, a little thing you guys might know called creative financing. Other ways to do deals in this difficult type of market. Guys, remember, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business by really giving them the tools and resources to build the business they want to build and really generate the life that they want to live. John, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me.
It's so weird. Normally I look up and I see, just John. I'm like, or John is someone else, and I see John. I'm excited to talk about creative financing. I love creative financing. I think we're both part of Sub 2. But before we kind of talk about that and why there's such a need for that now, tell our audience about you and kind of your background, how you got into real estate and really what got you here.
Yeah, my journey is definitely a strange one. I always try to keep things interesting, and I'm not going to fail with this one. But after 18 years in healthcare, I started right in high school summer, right in the file room, back when there was actually files to be had. Now that doesn't exist anymore. That's the way of AI and the way of digital operations. But I started there, went to X-ray school. By 21, I was a licensed X-ray tech and got my CAT scan license. And I was kind of in cruise control. I was on that 9 to 5 life, or in my case, 4 p.m. to midnight, getting mandated till 8 in the morning and wondering why I've chose this for myself. Finally got to the 8 to 4 route, which was the pinnacle. And I said, I have 10 years left before I have my full pension, and I'll only be 48 at that time. And a little thing came that you may have heard of called COVID-19 just the year before, so at my 14th year. And that is when they started saying, hey, if you're going to move forward, you're needing to get, you need the jab or you're not going to do it. And I said, that's not for me. So they put me out like a piece of garbage on the curb. So
because you didn't get the shot.
That's correct. So there's number one of saying how my path started to go toward real estate. It was about owning my own future, being my own boss. And if we want to talk about mitigation, it was mitigating the interference for my right to live and pursue a good lifestyle for myself. But on the way out, I decided to go run for U.S. Congress. And that I took on my own party in that. So you can imagine it was they can make movies about these things. But
yeah,
I was outspent by $1 million in the primary. I only had around 48K to our campaign grassroots. It didn't work out. I took 22% of the vote. The incumbent stayed. And it was definitely a strange experience for all of Staten Island, New York at that point, and Brooklyn, South Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And then I thought my path, honestly, John, was going to be politics. I mean, city council, there was a district opening. Actually, it opened this year. I thought that might be the route. but I took a month vacation to Florida.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And I never wanted to leave. We got an Airbnb, and then I said, maybe I should buy an Airbnb. Maybe I should move down here. So wifey and I, my wife was the one that was pushing me. I had a politic radio show at the time. She said, hey, start watching these Pace Morby videos. I was watching that. I was watching Flip It with Rick. I was learning about cash. I was learning all these different things. And if you've ever heard of creative finance people, the first thing anybody that doesn't know real estate, what they say is this legal? They don't know about wraparound mortgages. They don't know about these things. And I was one of those people, but I kept learning. Opened my LLC, JMKD Ventures LLC. Next thing I know, we bought a property here. Then we bought a quadplex here. So now we got 5 doors under the belt. And that was all traditional, but I was learning, and I partnered with Luxmore Properties. That's the team I'm with. And we, from there, became super innovative in that space, kept growing, wholesaling creative deals. And now, 2 years later, I am very much in real estate, and I haven't had a W-2 since August 18th of 2021. So the train keeps moving.
Awesome. All right, let's go back. If you ever watch any of my podcasts, I like to go back. I like to start back at the beginning, okay, or some on specific times. Why Congress? Why politics? Why, you're an X-ray tech, you're making good money. I'm assuming, you're 10, like you said, 10 years from your pension.
Yep.
Why go into Congress? I mean, I know you had the shot, and you did the whole shot situation, or you didn't get, but why Congress?
It was watching in New York. So, I mean, every state had a different approach, and city. New York City went completely bananas. Couldn't go into your local restaurant. You couldn't go into the food court at the mall if you were unvaccinated. And that was right after the job they took us, then they went for teachers, then they went for all the city workers. And I watched a lot of politicians play politics. And that's the thing I said. I kept saying real people need to get into politics, because when you have the people that want to just survive, it's kind of the cockroach mentality. It's like, I'll do whatever I say. I'll talk out of both sides of my mouth. As long as I get the votes to stay in, right, I'm good. And I didn't care if I got in and never got back in. It was never a career for me. It was to disrupt a system that is just poisoned from both sides across the board. So it started, to answer your question, it started with, they took my job. Now they're taking everyone else's job. But I saw a fear in all of these workers, these coworkers and community members, that they didn't know how to stand up for themselves. When you stay on the system too long and you're comfortable there, you don't know how to go against it. And there's something wrong with me, and that's called my entrepreneur spirit, that if you're going to take something from me, I will figure out how to build and come back. That's who I am. So I said, these people need representation in their fight. And that was just to get them to say no and feel comfortable and stay strong. And I got these large crowds together. The first one was at the Staten Island food court at the mall. They were banning us. And I've told some people about this, but we had to have a 2-hour sit down with security from Brookfield Properties and the NYPD, the chief officers of all the different precincts on Staten Island. And they said, don't come and eat on Saturday, because that was what I had said. We're going to go eat on a Saturday afternoon. We're going to meet at noon. And if they want to arrest us for eating, go for it. Have at it. It'll make the message stronger. Now, of course, right, my parents were really upset about that. They were like, John, you've made it through 35 years of life, 36 years of life at this point, and now you're risking getting arrested to go eat. And I said, that's the problem. There's so many people that say you're risking getting arrested to go to eat, when the right answer is go and eat. No one can arrest you. And I exposed that day. And next thing I know, we're on.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
The Colbert Show, they're making fun of us for going to eat. And this spiral, John, I kept getting a presence. So like my political world, I have like the following on Instagram. I have over 38,000 followers on that. And that is just because I said no. And when they came for the sanitation workers, I was watching grown men on the verge of tears, not knowing how they were going to have Thanksgiving Day dinner with their family. And I said no. And a buddy of mine, they had shut his bar down. They seized his business called Max Public House. We both stood in front of garbage trucks that night to not let them out. I got zip tied and detained. And my wife's crying and everyone's like, what is happening in this world? And a lot of people in the other states don't know about how bad it got.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you Google my name, you'll find some crazy things, but now I just keep it low key and I just wholesale and do real estate, and everyone prays I keep it that way and I don't end up in DC, but nice. God knows.
So you're vacationing in Florida. You don't want to go back to the cold. Don't blame you. You know, don't blame you on that. But you're in an Airbnb and your wife says, check out this Pace Morby stuff. How did you go out and find your first couple properties? What did you do?
Well, with that, I joined what they have as the Elephant Challenge in the Sub-2 community at that point. That was in 2023, right? Yeah, sounds right.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it was in 2023, and I started lightly working with a team from Colorado. They were like, oh, come on, do some cold calling. And apparently I was good at the cold calling thing. And the first day, I got a very, very hot lead. And they were like, if you don't have your LLC set up, it's time because you might be getting paid really shortly. So I set it up. That deal fell through because of VA entitlement.
Oh, bummer.
But the next day I met the team I'm with still to this very day. So that was just as fate would have it. It's been 2 years. Like I said, I quickly ascended to head of acquisitions. My wife became head of dispositions. I hope one day Christy is on your show because I could acquire with the best of them, but I don't know how to sell them. And this is a business. Everyone goes, well, what about acquisitions? Acquisitions don't mean anything. Those are nice decorative napkins or DocuSigns you can hang on the wall. If you can't assign that contract,
you can't sell it. It's worthless.
You acquired nothing.
Yeah, you acquired time, and you acquired someone else's time and a piece of paper. That's about it.
Yep.
Okay, so you kept joining some groups. What were some of your early struggles when you started getting into wholesaling and calling sellers and all those type of things?
Yeah, so I predominantly do direct to agent. I find agents for the most part now, they know what's going on. It's the bad rep of Sub-2. And what I mean by that, it got very saturated. So when that happened, everybody was calling, and now we have the same problem we just discussed, napkins and signed contracts that mean nothing. So you call and you make a good offer and they say somebody's offering me $30K more than that. And that $30K doesn't make any sense. No one's buying it if you're overpricing a house by $30,000. Right. And then you want an assignment fee on top. So it's like, hey, buy this house Sub-2 for an extra $40,000 to $50,000. No one's interested in those, but that ties up real offers. So, that's where that evolution came in. So what I had in the beginning as a problem was when it did go to the disposition phase, there's a lot of people that claim to be buyers, but they're just trying to figure out how they can be a buyer, how they can raise capital, and they tie you up or they don't perform come closing. But through different methods, we've rectified that. And the other thing is, I guess, survival. I guess that big rush of people making ridiculous offers.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Or, just blanketing out letters of intent without any data, which skews everything. I mean,
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of just putting out, hey, here's an offer. I don't know anything about the house. And then all of a sudden you've offered, again, 20K over, and the agent's like, yes, I'll take that. Now, how are they going to take you serious on the flip side? So
it discounts legitimate offers. I mean, I get it. It happened to me 100 times. What are some of the, things you kind of attribute your success to in acquisitions?
Being innovative. So I designed a contract with my team. I pulled all these levers, and this is like the madness of my brain. Like I said, if something goes wrong, I'm going to find a way to build a bridge around it. It might not make the most sense the way I design it sometimes, but that's what lawyers are for. They came in and hammered out some of the details and on how to execute what goes on in my wild brain. And I started doing everything I do on an option contract, and it has a lot of flexibility. And being that I'm direct to agent, it gives the agent the ability to still sell the house traditionally. And what I'm really leveraging is the market is not really allowing for the house to sell traditionally.
Right.
So I'm giving this gift of, hey, you can still sell it. And out of all the time I've been doing this, I tied once, so my first right of refusal overrides that. And the other time, they got a veteran that wanted to move in using their VA loan. It was in a military town, and I just signed the release. I said, don't worry, I'm not going to match it. I'm not going to purchase at my terms. Go for it. You sold your house. I'm happy for you.
Right.
But generally, where we're at is the market. If somebody's willing to go and look at creative finance, that means, hey, it's not selling. And they just want a second way out. So if I could 2x the chance of their house selling with all my little bells and whistles that I've included, for them, it's an easy take. And it's honesty. It's just transparency. As direct to agent, we wholesalers, and I hate the word wholesaling because it makes it sound really, really bad. I tell them you can call it wholesaling because in theory that's what it is, but I work on an assignment fee. I'm going to assign this for a fee that my investor is going to pay.
Yeah.
That sounds so much better. It's the same.
I'm a consultant for my investors, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I overcame many obstacles, and I call it wholesaling 2.0. You got to be transparent. You got to be innovative. I JV now. I do joint ventures across the country. I have wholesalers that have been doing it for years calling me, and they're still trying to get the pitch right, or they've learned it now from me. But we just JV on everything because we dispo at Luxmore. It's luxmoredeals.com. We dispo wholesalers deals from around the country. Some of them are on our proprietary contract, so they have 90 days. I often go and tell people, if you want to know the power of the option contract, I turned a house that has negative $1,200 as cash flow. I turned that into a $20,000 assignment fee. It took 80 days, but I did. And when I offered the agent that, I did two things, John. I said, hey, I want to do a sub 2 on this. And they said, you can't do a sub 2 on it. It's an unsub-2able property. It's so bad, it doesn't cash flow. I said, don't worry about it. Let me try. Day 50 came, I called the agent and I said, hey, you know the 80,000 hybrid seller carry portion? Do they want to get rid of that and sell the house? Because I think I can make it move. And she said, are you crazy? I said, it's up to you. You don't have to sign an addendum. Let me know.
Right.
Called me back 5 minutes later, send the addendum. So now we just cut 80K off the purchase price. Now it's more in the realm of reality.
Sure.
Day 80 comes, and next thing I know, we have a $20,000 assignment fee because a wholesaler themselves wanted to move in as a homestead. So couldn't wholesale that in a million years. Like there would be less than a 1% of a 1% chance, but being innovative made that happen.
I love it. So let's talk about your business now. I know we talked a little bit about right before we got on about the creative financing and whatnot. Kind of that's how things are going with this type of market. So tell me what your business looks like now outside of, I don't know if you're doing something separate from Luxmore, but tell me about that let's talk about creative.
Yeah, right now, Luxmore is my predominant stuff. I have buy and hold, which is the other, we got a condo in Boca Raton, and we always envisioned after we would move out of it that we would say, hey, this is going to be a great rental at that point, because we wanted to get to Florida. We fell in love. We got down here. And that condo is great. It's right outside of FAU, first floor. There's no rental restrictions. It's a very renter-friendly HOA. Majority of units are investors that own it. And perfect for kids going to college. You walk out into your Florida room, you walk out the door, and you're 5 minutes from campus on foot. You just cross over the river.
Nice.
So, yeah, once we walked in, we knew this is going to be an amazing return. Even though it's a condo in Florida and the condo market's going through its own thing, we knew that this is prime real estate. So that was the beginning. That was like the ultimate beginning of the real estate journey. The quadplex, another thing that's gonna, just continue to grow in Lake Worth Beach. This whole area is growing up to be something spectacular. Some people say 3 to 5 years. It's gonna be the next Delray. It's gonna be something where a lot of people go. And what I call it Staten Island. And the reason I call it that is Manhattan is West Palm Beach. It's growing every day massively. And we're 12, 15 minutes away. So we're that outside borough. And when people don't want to live like, oh, I don't want to live in the hustle bustle.
Don't want to live in the middle of all the hectic.
They can rent here. So that was my goal there for the buy and holds. And we're still looking to develop that. I mean, making proper, again, it comes down to underwriting, making the proper investment where at the end you're saying, okay, I'm making money. If you do single family homes, sometimes people like at the end, I'm clearing $300. It's close and you're just worried about the building equity. But if you make the right moves, we found the quadplex off market before it got listed. We have really good agents down here. I'll shout them out, Kevin and Nicole West from Compass. They have a lot of connections. They reached out to a multifamily guy, and he said, I have one that I'm going to list on Monday. That was like the week before. So he had like 5-6 days to make an offer. And we walked the property, and I'm like, oh man, like if we could, the seller, he bought that house when it was about to be condemned. He rebuilt it, redid everything to it. It's 2 structures, so 4 units altogether. And he had that opportunity that he got it for like $50,000, flipped it, and he was able to sell it. So he didn't care if he took a haircut because he was making hundreds and hundreds.
He was still making a huge, yeah.
And he was doing a 1031 exchange on it. So he wanted to sell quick because he had his next piece of real estate. So we came in, we got it, and it's kind of like we got it for $200,000 under market. So it was just a big win across the board.
Sounds like it
for all parties. So
sounds like it.
That's on the buy and hold front.
Awesome. So what's holding you back from buying more?
Nothing. That's next on the agenda.
Nice. Cool. If anybody has more properties in where was that? Lake Worth Beach.
Lake Worth Beach, yeah. Reach
out to this gentleman. What advice for someone getting into wanting to start wholesaling, doing it? What advice do you give them? First thing they need to do, hands down.
Don't give up. Ask yourself why you're doing it. Ask yourself what your dedication is. So I would say end of 23, I was only in this now, let's say for 5 months, right? And I started taking on students, teaching them free of charge, just wanted them to work with us. We give them leads, just make your calls. And that program, I basically called it off within 4 or 5 months because the turnover was so high. Everyone was coming in saying, I'm ready to do this. And I told everyone, if you call daily, you will have a deal within the first 3 months, at least one deal, and it will compound that your other deals will come back around.
Yep.
The really good callers were getting that, but they would only stay till they made that first deal, and they said it's not worth it, and they were ducking out. So it's really what you're looking to get from it. Are you willing to give it time for the seeds to germinate and to learn more and to get more, or to start your own business or make strategic partnerships? You need to take that moment and look inside your soul. If you think you're driving a Lamborghini or something, that's not going to happen, not right away at least. I can tell you I'm making a lot more now than I was in the beginning. And the beginning was tough. My first 6 months, even though I was teaching people, it was tough. It was touch and go. And I was like, man, I could really go for maybe an x-ray job right now. I got close to thinking about it a few times.
Yeah.
And but now that's different. And that's you have to survive, adapt, and innovate. And that's what I tell everybody. Don't get in and think that you have one script and that's it, and you're going to make $1 million. It's tough. And if you want to scale, you're going to have to kind of take ownership and build as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, and it's about learning and always growing, right? And always, finding that, that room, those people, that, person that is where you're at, and learning from their mistakes and having them help accelerate your learning. So
networking, John.
Yep. 100%. If go ahead.
No, if you get into this and you're not networking, it's not going to work. That's right. You want solid advice.
Yep.
Every time. And my wife, again, I give her all the credit. She's the master of networking. She literally just flies around the room like a butterfly and knows everybody by the end. And I'm kind of like, wish I could network as good as you. But networking is the key, because you're not just going to it's like a tree falling in the forest and no one's there to hear it. If you don't network, you're not making the connections to make deals.
Yeah, 100%. I love it. Well, John, thank you for coming on here and sharing the info, bro. Some good stuff. Guys, I hope you out there listening took some notes. If they want to talk a little bit more with you, they might be in your area and have some deals. They might want to work with Luxmore. How do they reach out, and how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm active now on the social. So Instagram and TikTok, it's _closer_Johnny. The closer Johnny with underscores in between it. You can send me direct messages. I'm John Matland on Facebook. You might run into John Matland for Congress if you search. There's a lot of different versions of me, but find the real estate one. And yes, I work with everybody that's serious, that wants to do it. If you're already doing deals, we will dispo it. If you want to use our contract, we will dispo it. We're awesome to work with.
I love that. Guys, use him. Get as much information out of him if you need it. But I like what he said is, just take action too, right? Know what you're going to do and take action. Don't sit on the sidelines. Hope you guys had a good show. I did it as well. John, thank you again, and we'll see you guys on the next.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.